The great Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi has related in his book, Sharh al-Sudur fi Ahwal al-Mawt wal-Qubur. He says that the ulama write that in general, there are 4 reasons and 4 causes for a bad ending. 4 causes as a result of which a person will be disgraced at the time of death. Finding anyone that doesn't commit at least one of these sins in this day and age, we'd be lucky if we found someone that to some degree doesn't commit these sins. At-takasul bis-salat. The first one he mentioned was at-takasul bis-salat. Laziness with regards to salah. You know, just being lazy, not neglecting, not missing. Having a lazy attitude, just like the munafiqeen had at the time of Rasulullah. وَلَا يَأْتُونَ الصَّلَاةَ إِلَّا وَهُمْ كُسَالَى. Having a lazy attitude towards prayer is something that will bring about a bad death. My friends, never mind laziness with regards to salah. Look at our masajid. Our masajid are empty and they are crying. Our masajid are beautiful, but they are deprived of the real beauty, and that is obedient servants of Allah, prostrating before the Lord of the Arsh and Kursi 5 times a day. There is no obligation bigger than this. Open the book of Allah. How many times has Allah mentioned the word salah? To remind us. Every second page, every third page, my young friends, you will get a reminder with regards to salah. The next thing he mentioned, shurbul khamr, taking intoxicants. You know, we may not take intoxicants in the sense that even today, by the grace of Allah, which is a positive and good thing, that many of us will not touch alcohol. We won't touch a glass of whiskey. Why? Because, you know, right from childhood, this has been instilled in our hearts. Don't go even near. So we won't touch a bottle of brandy and things. But tell me, my young friends, who from amongst the youth today doesn't take a spliff? Who from the youth doesn't take a spliff? Balki spliff, my young friend, you will find people with beards who read in the front surf, but in their gatherings they'll be taking spliff, and they don't even consider this haram. They don't even consider the haram. What's the difference between two? This is khamr, this is khamr, this is haram, this is haram, this is cursed, this is cursed. Hukukul walidain, disrespecting mother and father. Today all mothers and fathers are crying that they don't even have control over children as young as 5. You know, as young as 5, they will turn around and look up at their mothers and fathers and say, hey, who are you to tell me to do this? Who are you? They will answer back. The hadith which Hafiz al-Munziri has related in Targhib wa Tarhib on the authority of Awan ibn Hawshim comes to mind. He says, I went to a tribe, there was a tomb near this tribe, and after Asr, this grave opened. And he says, a man came out of this grave. His head was that of a donkey, and his body was that of a human being. He came out of the grave, he hee-hawed 3 times like a donkey. 3 times he hee-hawed like a donkey, and after this he went back inside the grave, and the grave closed. He says, I asked the locals with regards to this individual, as to who he was and why Allah was punishing him in this manner. So he says that the locals informed me that this young individual, he would take alcohol, he would drink, he had the habit of drinking. And when he would drink too much and he would return home in the evening to his mother, and she would see him, to save him from Jahannam and the fire of hell and the punishment of the Akhirah, she would give her son nasiha, and she would say to her son, oh my son, ittaqullah, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stay well away from this thing, al-khamru jumma al-ithm, this is the mother of all evils, ummul khabaith. Oh my son, rizsu min amali shaitan, is a filthy thing, is from the handicraft and works of the shaitan. When she would give her son nasiha in this manner, you know what he would do? He would turn around to his son and mom and say, oh mom, stop hee-hawing like a donkey. He would say to his mom, stop hee-hawing like a donkey. You know what? The exact same thing happens today. The last thing, idha'ul muslimin, troubling the believers, in whichever form it may be, whether it's swearing at someone, whether it's bullying someone, whether it's you've taken qarz of someone, you've borrowed some money from someone, you know, you were given a particular date to pay back, but you have the means, but you're not paying back. Irrespective of how you trouble a believer, whether it's through slandering, backbiting, whatever it may be, my young friends, this is a cause for a bad death. We need to refrain from these 4 sins which the ulama, in general as believers, we need to refrain from all sins. But especially these 4, which Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi has mentioned, are in general a cause of a bad death.